Welcome back to part 2 of the CO2 workshop build. Now since the last video, I've actually done a fair bit of work on the inside, including insulating the walls, putting plaster on the walls and also the roof. I also installed tubing that runs through the roof and out to the side. Now that's to bring fresh air inside when I need to. And as you can also see, I've replaced the outside paneling as well. As you can see, that air intake port over on one side. I start to build up my wall at the same time where I want to have everything sitting. So I've got power points, I've got my actual wall plates where I can hang all the stuff you'll see in later on in the video. Now, as you can see, I've got that intake and the out for the air. So you can see I've got a filter, and on the other side, I've got these little adapters where I can install sensors or whatever I need to if I want to start pushing the air out of the actual workshop. Now on the outside, you can see this is the actual out vent. I've got a cover on it so water and bugs or anything doesn't come back inside into the workshop. Now once all the walls were done, I actually brought in this server rack. Now it's not actually suitable to have it sitting there by itself due to all the noise and things like that. So I actually built a server cabinet that's dedicated to just placing exactly in that spot. Now I built it all up out of wood that's sturdy enough but also will block some of the sound as well. Now it was pretty big, so it did take a bit of work to actually maneuver it into place, and I actually just missed the lights that I installed, but I finally got it in, and as you can see I actually poured concrete underneath, so there's a bit of weight, but it's all good because there's concrete underneath in those spots. So I added a door onto the actual server cabinet as well, so it closes over, not only stopping the sound a bit more, but also keeping that air inside, which I'll be doing more work on that in future videos. So I also added this LED strip lighting, so that way I can actually light up the inside of the cabinet because it gets quite dark in there, especially once everything's all inside. But I've also got power points installed inside the cabinet. Now the front one I can use for the lighting, the back one I use for the actual power to the server rack. So there you go, you can see how much it lights up the inside, which is nice and handy, especially when you're working on things inside here. Now as you can see in the back there's a 15 amp socket, which I'm looking at changing maybe in future. Works so far, but I may update it to one of these bigger 32 amp Clipsal type of plugs, which is a bit of work. But after that's all done, all I need to do is roll the server cabinet in, which you can see there's a few pieces already inside there, so it has a bit of weight already. And that's really about it so far. As you can see, I've got it set up. We've got the 3D printer on one side, we've got the server rack, we've got all the area to do all the electronics. And this is basically how we've got it so far. Now I'll be making changes over time, which you'll probably see in other videos. So now I've got a proper space to do all my videos and the CO2 project. Now if you haven't already, make sure to check out the full playlist. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.